Hello, my name is Jenny Wong and I am currently a junior at Harvard. I'm a flutist and I've been a member of HRO since freshman year, so it's coming on 3 years now that I've been a member of this wonderful orchestra. And I'm here to tell you about my transition from high school music to the college music making experience. When I was in high school, I was very fortunate to be a part of the Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra, which is a very good youth orchestra, and through it I was able to make a lot of friends and play wonderful music, as well as engage a little bit in the running of the orchestra by participating on their social media team. And so overall, that was just a fun time. And I knew coming to Harvard, I wanted to continue playing my flute, wanted to continue playing music, and so naturally I sought out the orchestra, this orchestra, because I knew I wanted to replicate that experience. I wasn't quite sure what to expect of other musicians, whether they would be extremely good, which a lot of musicians here are very good, how things would work with school, academics, like how would I practice, how would everything work. And what I will say is that it is difficult to do music seriously and to also be very serious about your academics and want to go into competitive professional fields. But what I found is that the things that you care about, the things that you prioritize, you will find time to do them. And so I have found time to be able to practice and to be able to go to orchestra, whether that means just like getting in an hour or something between classes, or just trying my best to be so super effective with practice sessions. You just have to make it work. And then for orchestra itself, I was very fortunate, number one, to be accepted into this orchestra. Very glad that happened. But I also found a similar experience to my high school one, which is where you have a group of musicians who not only are still very dedicated to music, but also are passionate about so many other fields. And that is just incredible, because you can sit and really connect with all these people through an orchestra. That's one of the most, I think, unifying experiences you can have, just sitting in the middle of all this music, everybody just listening to each other and like focusing on what's happening. And I think that's wonderful. So it has been a good time.
Hello everyone, my name is Kaede. I am a sophomore at the college and I play the cello. So I joined the Harvard-Radcliffe Orchestra in my first year, so this is my second year playing in the orchestra. So for me, music has always been a large presence in my life. Up until I graduated high school, I was lucky enough to be able to take private lessons and chamber music and orchestra at the community music school that I had attended since I was young, called the Joy of Music program. And I also was a member of the Boston Youth Symphony Orchestra, where I also did chamber music with fellow musicians there as well. Looking back now, I think practice, rehearsals, and concerts was something that was a very routine part of my life. And so it was something that I took for granted, I think. And, I knew I wanted to continue making music in college, but I wasn't exactly sure what that would look like once I actually got there. And so when I came to college, I was fortunate to be accepted into the Harvard-Radcliffe Orchestra. And to be completely honest, I think it took some time to adjust to the transition. I think it can sometimes be really hard to find time to practice in between classes and while you have other assignments and studying that you need to do. But something that helped me significantly was knowing that I wasn't alone and that there were a lot of other people in HRO who were going through a similar process as me. And I think getting to work with these people can be really inspiring and stimulating, and can be a source of your own motivation for your efforts to practice. And I also realized truly how precious the time that I spent making music up until I entered college was. And, you know, this helped me appreciate even more the time I was spending with HRO alongside people who similarly care about continuing music as a sort of lifelong endeavor.
Hey everyone, it's really nice to meet all of you. My name is Liz and I am a first year at the college, and with the HRO I am a flutist and a piccolo player. So with regards to today's question, which is just about the transition from a high school musical setting into the college musical setting, I can only speak from experience from this very virtual year because this has been my first year at the college. But I think the biggest change that I've noticed is that I've just had to take a lot more agency for my own practicing, as there aren't really external activities that normally would be in place that would hold me accountable. And I could imagine maybe in a normal year this might look very similar in terms of just keeping yourself accountable. Just for some context, I am not a music student right now. I'm not getting a music degree, but music is still a very important part of my life that I definitely intend on keeping in my life for a very long time. And so I think in high school, I was very involved in orchestra in school, in band in school, in extracurricular competitions and whatnot, just for the instruments that I played. And I think those were really nice ways to keep myself accountable and to make sure that I was practicing. Because even though practicing is fun and we love practicing, oftentimes it'd be really nice to have an external circumstance to keep me accountable for, make sure that you have this piece prepared for this competition or this performance by this date. And that was a nice way to stay on track. But obviously that's not the case with this year. So practicing became a lot more of a discipline and something that you had to take extra time to kind of build into your schedule, especially because I think with college, your first year, you might be switching around some of your priorities, you might be trying out new things, and that's totally okay. But in terms of staying on top of your musical activities, it's definitely just about making sure that you carve out time in your schedule to practice and that you're trying to get as involved on campus as you can with the various opportunities that are so widespread and so wonderful. There's the HRO, there are wonderful other orchestras, some chamber ensembles that you can be a part of, classes. There are just so many opportunities. So I think you just have to take a lot more agency for keeping music in your life in college, and also for making sure that you make time in your schedule to continue practicing and prioritizing music if it is important to you, which I would recommend because it is such a nice thing to be able to have a musical community on campus, and I'm very, very grateful for HRO. It's definitely been a fun community to be a part of despite our entirely online setting. So yeah, that would be my little tidbit for today. Thank you so much for listening. You should come to Harvard and join HRO. It's a great time. But yeah, if you ever have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to talk and hope to see you on campus.